The purpose of the project is to provide the Coromandel with coastal adaptation pathways. So we don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to plan for all eventuality. It's a community-led project. It's up to the people who live here.
I've lived here for 25 years, have been through maybe 4 or 5 floods. We want to continue living here, as I'm sure most of the community who lives here does.
Because if we don't do it now, we won't be prepared. It's vital, absolutely vital.
We've looked at a number of risks. The ones we've focused on predominantly are coastal erosion, coastal inundation. What we do know is that some 20-30 centimetres of sea level rise is locked in, and that's going to happen in the next 20 years.
There are some very big decisions and choices for places like Thames and Whitianga, and we need to decide if we're going to protect those communities in the long term or do other things like make houses more resilient or even think about relocating. So understanding the risks for specific areas is really important, because then we can go to the communities and we can understand how much risk they're prepared or want to live with and what the acceptable solutions might be for those specific communities.
And I think it's really great that council's coming to us, well, not having to go and see them. They're coming to show us what their plans are, the stages they were looking at this, and I think it's excellent.
Community-led solution with expert input is always the best outcome.
We're 2 years in, we're developing pathways. By next June, we will have our plans and our community action plans and our adaptation pathways agreed and finalised. So we're not making any assumptions about what is going to happen. So we're saying, if sea level rises, this is the planned approach to adapt to that. And if it doesn't, you might not need to implement those actions.
The feedback is going to shape how our towns develop, how things are protected, and what sort of environment we end up with long term.
So we gather all of that information up. We look at the exact stretch of coast that the comment relates to. We will then use that when we go back to our coastal panel members, and that will also help us inform the triggers, the thresholds for change. We can't change what's going to happen, but we can plan for it, be ready for it, adapt.
We don't want to leave the situation for someone else to solve.